Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark with Dr. Angela. I am your host, Dr. Angela Butchester. You guys know what I like to do on my show. Say it with me. I want to enlighten, inspire, and empower you to become your best self. Now, Scripture reminds us that the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches, but a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire. And that's what we want to do today. We want to get you fired up about my guest. I'll be spending time today with Kevin Rowe, and we're talking about his book, The Pursuit of Personal Excellence. So go on, get comfy, get cozy, get your coffee or get your tea, because we are about to get started. Hello, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining me here on Daily Spark with Dr. Angela.
Hello, Dr. Angela. How are you today?
Thank you so much for joining me. And now, as is tradition around here, we always give our guests an opportunity to introduce themselves to perhaps those few folks out there that may be unfamiliar with you or your work. So my first question for you is, tell us a little bit about yourself. What makes you, you?
Well, you know what, put it in a nutshell, I simply love people and I love excellence. So those things combined will basically describe me. I'm from Chicago and born and raised, and learned early that helping people was part of my purpose in life. And that's pretty much it about me.
Now, when it comes to being an author, is that something that you've always wanted to do, or did you find that this was just perhaps one of the best ways to share your message with the world?
I think it's a bit of both. I'll tell you what, getting to write was something that I had never done before. And I'll tell you specifically how it came about. We had a guest speaker, a motivational speaker, come to the department I worked. I'm a retired police commander with the Albuquerque Police Department. And during my time there, this particular time, the motivational speaker that came out, when he spoke, it seems as if though he was just speaking only to me in that auditorium. He motivated me to believe that I could take that next step, and he encouraged me. Once I contacted him after that speech, he said, if your purpose is to help make a difference and change this world, you need to write a book. You need to write a book and write it now. So at that point, I began to think, what is it that I know about that I can write about that will help people and to help change this world? And that's where I came up with the concept of personal excellence.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it. Well, as a law enforcement sister and mom, thank you very much for your dedication to community and for keeping us safe. I appreciate that. Now, when it comes to the title of your book, The Pursuit of Personal Excellence, many authors have explained that the title came to them first and they were able to kind of write around the book. Others said, no, Dr. Angela, I didn't know what I was going to call the book until I was almost done. The title kind of developed out of the writings. At any point, did you feel that you have a working title, or did you always know this would be the title of this work?
Well, one thing is I had to sit with myself and reflect. When I did the introspection or an introspective look inside of myself, what is it that I knew about that I really could expound upon? And it was personal excellence, because that's something I learned from my values growing up, but I also refined those to the point that I wanted to give my very best in every single thing that I did. Now, I realize people cannot be perfect. That's not possible. But I do believe that we can give excellence in everything that we do. And so from that standpoint, I began to write about things, and as you'll see in the book, those that will have an opportunity to read the book, will see that personal excellence is a mindset. It also becomes somewhat of a way of life and a value, so to speak. And that's what I wrote about.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the ideal reader, I tend to ask the question this way. Would you say that your book is appropriate for those high school age, or should they be a little older, perhaps college age and older?
In looking at it, I think it's high school age should be appropriate as well. Because this is a motivational book, and it's to inspire people to become better. And I sprinkle a lot of stories that are relevant to the points that I'm making and teaching inside of the book. And I think they're appropriate for high school teens as well as adults.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Now, I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page as you. We know that many times when it comes to communication, there's miscommunication because folks are not on the same page. So let me ask you to clarify a part of your title, and I want to make sure that people understand what you're saying exactly. Personal excellence. When you refer to that term, Commander, what is personal excellence, and how do you utilize that term in your book?
Personal excellence is this. It's actually giving supreme quality in every single thing that you do. And excellence, when you look at all the athletes, the Michael Jordans, all of the people who have achieved phenomenal success in their sport or in their endeavors, have applied excellence. But excellence does not exist unless you make it personal. And I hope the readers can understand that, or listeners. Yes, unless you make excellence personal, it does not really happen for you. That means that will entail sweat equity that you will have to give. That will entail mental discipline that you will have to give. You know, it's going to entail sacrifices, but it's a matter of making a decision and a commitment to excellence. You see, if I might digress a bit, I taught my children this motto. Each of them, and I have 3 children. I have 2 daughters and 1 son, Tavara, Tracy, and Kevin II. Now, when they turn 5 years old, I have them stand at attention and recite this motto, and it goes like this. Once a task has begun, never leave it until it's done. Be the labor, great or small, do it well or not at all. And so that in itself is basically one of the mottos that is part of the foundation of the Rowe family, and that we use that to focus on excellence. So once we began to do something, we apply excellence in it. And the job is not done until you do it well. I hope I was able to.
I love your answer, and thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now, my next question for you is, folks like to know why things are relevant to them today, right? Like, how does this book fit into my day-to-day world? So I want to give you an opportunity to express that. Why should someone pick it up if they're looking for a trending topic or something that helps them get through their moment of now?
Wow, that is a good question. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I believe there's an urgency now, not later. Because the future of humanity is at stake. You see, it's crying out for people to become better. Look at what's happening today as we turn on the news and watch the mediums, the news mediums, and what do we see? people misbehaving at a alarming level. And it's time for people to become better. I think we all can look, and if we were to ask the question to ourselves right now, aren't we tired of dealing with rude people? Aren't we tired of being judged or misjudged? Aren't we tired of being disrespected? Aren't we tired of people mistreating us, or then people who aren't prepared to give excellence mistreating other people? You see, right now is an important time. I think we look at now, there were in 2021, there were 693 mass shootings. And in 2022, there's already 250 mass shootings. Now, people, it's dealing with the mindsets of people. You see, misguided mindsets are now running rampant. And I think it's time for people to now see that there is an alternative. There is hope. There's hope that we can be better as a people. There is hope that we can start feeling compassion for one another, that we can start giving excellence in every single thing that we do. A handshake will mean something. And then when people achieve things, we will be able to stand and cheer without having a heavy heart about it, because we want to see people be successful because they're giving excellence. And guess what? If you're giving excellence, you wouldn't have a problem seeing someone else give excellence and then to achieve. So I think it's the beginning of a new era, and also I would love to see this become a new standard in this country as well as around the world. That is
agreed. Absolutely. Agreed. You know, and you really are saying something very important there, and that is that it is about mindset. I know that many times I talk about that abundance mindset versus that scarcity mindset. Like you were saying, that sweat equity. You know, you have to be vested in your own personal excellence.
Right.
If not, you're not going to get where you want to go. And one of the best motivational speakers on that topic, especially if you're in the sports, and I think you mentioned it, is Kobe. Kobe talks about that. You know, he's up at old dark 30, making a difference, because he knows that by sacrificing a little bit of sleep, you know, he's able to get, I think he says, 3 or 4 trainings in a day versus that person who only got in maybe 1 or 2 trainings a day. So that's why he was as amazing as he was, because he understood that it took that that warrior mindset, that all be the best mindset to make it happen. So, I love it that you are reminding us
I was going
of
to
that
ask you something.
today.
Just add one thing. I actually sleep 3 hours a day, and I tell you, there's so much that we can do with the time that we have available. If we think about it, how many hours are there in a day, how many minutes are there, and how many seconds are there in a day that we allow to go by? But when we think about that, how many of those moments are spent giving unconditional love? I just wanted to add that in there.
Well, Commander, it is time for us to go to break. But before we do, can you remind everyone, please, what is the title of your book? Where can we get a copy? And, of course, how do we stay in contact with you?
Yes, the title of my book is The Pursuit of Personal Excellence. You can get a copy of my book on Amazon, and I'm on Twitter at Kevin Rowe Speaks.
Alrighty, everyone. Now you know where you can get a copy of the book. We'll be back right after this. And we are back. Thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark with Dr. Angela. You guys know who I am. I am spending time with Kevin Rowe today, and we're talking about his book, The Pursuit of Personal Excellence. Now, Commander, let me ask you this question. Personal excellence. You gave us your definition, and I think that most of us agree that it is a mindset, but it's something that we have to personally want to pursue. With that being said, Is personal excellence something that everyone will be able to achieve?
Yes, I believe so. There's just really, excellence is irrespective of race, color, age, or anything like that. It's a matter of deciding you want to give the very best that you can give, being the best you that you can be. Or as I would put it, being the best me that I can be. So if you said it for yourself, being the best me that you can be to yourself. But being the best person that you can be is what it comes down to. So I think, is it accessible to everyone? Yes. A lot of it is going to depend upon the commitment. So you see today, a lot of people commit and they feel that they know how to commit. But what I realize is that people will commit to something but fail to commit to their commitment. And that's where the difference lies. So achieving personal excellence is available to any person. But it's, again, dealing with the mindset. Changing your mindset, which becomes a habit to give excellence. Having established habit to give excellence in every single thing that you do. But yes, it is accessible to everyone. And it's pretty easy to do once you commit.
I could not agree with you more. And I love the fact that you are reminding people to commit to the commitment. Listeners, you guys have heard me say it a little bit differently, but we have to be consistent. We have to be consistently consistent. And if we don't commit to that consistency, you will not get exactly where you want to go. You'll get close, but you will not hit the target each and every time. And I'm so glad that you are reminding people of that. I think that's where they get lost. They will try for a few weeks or for a few months. There's even folks that will try for a few years and they just stop, not realizing that it is a long haul. It's not a sprint, but it is the journey. It is the distance that really counts. Thank you so much for that reminder. Now, just in case someone has joined us a little bit late in the program, I want to ask you, if you had to describe your book in one or two sentences, how would you describe your book, The Pursuit of Personal Excellence?
I would describe it in one sentence: being the best you that you can be. That would be it. You see, it all starts with you. You. You see, people don't realize that we are a corporation within ourselves. And guess what? You are the CEO of the You Corporation, each individual person. And how successful that corporation will be depends on you. How kind that organization will depend on you. How excellent it will depend on you. So that's what I would say, one sentence: being the best you that you can be.
I love that answer. And I think that people have a tendency so many times to concentrate on someone else, that they've been taught that you must use your energy on other people and not on yourself. And so many times people forget to pour into themselves as well, to do those things that are going to ensure that we are being the best that we can be. Thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome.
Now, when it comes to personal excellence, I have to ask you, Commander, how has personal excellence helped you in your life's walk?
Well, personal excellence has helped me to be a better man, a better husband to my beautiful wife. I call her Peach. because not only because of the way she looks, but how sweet she is inside. It helps me also to be a better father. It helped me to be a better friend, a better leader, a better listener, a better student, a better musician. I was able to teach myself how to play 6 instruments. I was also, personal excellence helped me to achieve things in my life that I think are significant. Matter of fact, one of the things that I was able to apply, and I ended up saving a woman's life because I allowed myself to use personal excellence to stand in front of fear and let courage jump in forth in front. And at that point, a woman, we were on a canoe trip, and her canoe capsized, and she was thrown into the currents, fast currents of water. And I made a quick decision. Didn't have much time to think about it, but personal excellence, I gave my best. I dove in the water after her, and I was able to save her life. And today, that woman lives, and she is now known as Dr. Deborah Davis Cotton. And not only did personal excellence allow me to save her life, but it also allowed me to be blessed with another family member. She's like a sister to me now. But I can go on and on with the stories about how personal excellence has helped me. I've joined the Albuquerque Police Department at the very bottom and rose to the top as an executive using personal excellence. I'm the former assistant manager of a federal credit union. I have written songs that are being played and sold around the world. In fact, I believe that everything that I do must help people. And one thing that I know for sure, that I spent over 4 decades in the laboratory of life perfecting and researching and understanding, and that is leadership as well as personal excellence. Personal excellence, understanding that we have to first give ourselves permission to do anything. So a lot of things that we say that we're going to commit to, or the things that we want to achieve, oftentimes we may be able to verbalize that where other people may be able to receive it from hearing it, but oftentimes we have not given ourselves permission. And right now, today, people are addicted to getting approval from other people with the likes on social media, needing that acceptance. But what I understand about personal excellence is accepting yourself first, loving yourself first. It'll be a poor person that expects someone else to love them if they won't love themselves first. You see, think about it. I used to have a situation in my life where I felt that I would want recognition for doing something at times, and it didn't seem to come when I felt I needed it most. And then one day, I prayed about it, and I understood this, is that my hand was closer to my back than anyone else's hand. So I can give myself a pat on the back. And that's what I began to do. I refused to be down. And through personal excellence, I won't allow myself to be down because I wake up with an attitude of gratitude each day through personal excellence, giving supreme quality in every single thing that I do, in every way, every time, and every day. Personal excellence is the ultimate level of self-improvement. I go back to when I first began. What made me write this book was a person who was influential to me and became my first speaking mentor, Dr. James T. Reese. He was a man who spoke at the Albuquerque Police Department's event that touched my heart that I had to track him down. And in tracking him down and communicating with him, we connected and became friends. And he said, I'll mentor you and get out here and do motivational speaking. I'll mentor you, but you have to write this book. Write a book to help people. And I've done that. And I'm continuing to write. And even today, as I move forward in this, giving this explanation, there's a gentleman I met recently, Gary Richardson. He's another gentleman that is an outstanding motivational speaker that has also decided to assist me. But, you know, I got to tell you, personal excellence is very dear to me. And ladies and gentlemen that are listening, you are an amazing masterpiece, handcrafted by God himself, that nobody has the right to tell you or make you feel that you're unworthy, that make you feel that you can't do something, that make you feel that you don't have enough to be somebody, you're already enough. Listen to me. Woo. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to be better as a people.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, this is motivational speaker, retired commander, and author Kevin Rowe. He has written the book, The Pursuit of Personal Excellence. Commander, thank you so much for spending time with us here today. We are out of time, but I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me here today. Now, before I let you go, can you remind everyone, if they want to stay in contact with you, how should they do that?
Well, they can get in touch with me. My book, the name of my book is The Pursuit of Personal Excellence. You can get my book on Amazon, and I'm also on Twitter at Kevin Rowe Speaks. And I want to say this. I love you all.
Thank you again for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And listeners, thank you for spending time with us here today as well. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend it with me today, and I appreciate your doing so. I hope that we have enlightened, inspired, and empowered you again today. As always, may the Lord continue to shine his face upon you. May you receive his grace and his mercy in all that you do. Until next time, everyone, remember that you are blessed in the Lord. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.